Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Trying to get the levels together there. It is Wednesday, November 20th, and you were in the Java Cafe this morning for a shot with Java. For those of you that may be joining us for the first time, it is just my time with the audience to check in, go over a few things, some events, and just catch up and some banter. It seems that the foundation of when we started in 2020 was just me on here running my mouth, and a few folks reach out and say they like that. So let's go into the Java Cafe and see who is in this morning. And also I will be cognizant of those that are over on Instagram. Shout out to Wedlock and Loaded. Time for some open cut. So Wedlock and Loaded is over there starting off spicy this morning, talking about some open cuffing. Miss Teresa's in here. All right. For those of you that are familiar with the Java Cafe, Miss Teresa is a staple and a pillar in here, and she keeps me laced. Miss Teresa, you must have sent this shirt. It was getting ready for the fall. So it was either the fall when we met, I believe, of 22, or it wasn't 23. So, yes, this is a football type jersey, double, because it's a little chilly out there. Summer's over, y'all, but Miss Teresa, thank you for always keeping me laced. Let's go in the cafe. I've already said good morning to Miss Teresa. Naraki, good morning to you, beautiful. Good to see you in the room. Asia, good morning to you. I see that Ray posted his pictures. Asia's husband, Ray, was in a chili contest and came in third place. Mama Java, good morning. Good to see you in the room. I will see you on Saturday. Also, Sister Debbie, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Dina, good morning to you. Dina, please keep me abreast if those folks from the city are following up with you. I'm working on something with Ma, and it's been a lot of phone and email tags, so please keep me abreast of that. Heidi, good to see you in the room this morning. Heidi had an event, I believe, this past weekend, a prophetic conference, and I saw some social media posts about that. So, Heidi, congratulations to you for a successful event. Janky, Donna Williams-Bowen, good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning as well. Charlotte, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Charlotte has an event coming up at Greater Love Tabernacle around men's health. Make sure you hit her up and get that information. So it's been a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. Did I have a guest on Monday? Maybe Naraki, that's why. But let's say a happy belated birthday to Naraki. Her birthday was on Monday. I must have missed that. Who was my guest on Monday? It had to be because I had a guest and wasn't paying too much attention to the comments. But Naraki, happy birthday to you. Happy 25th birthday. Good to see you in the room as we do every morning. It's been a few days since I have had guests that I've given some commentary about what's going on in DC. And I've said before that it is interesting for me of keeping us aware. And I know folks watch the news. Some folks may not watch the news, but there are a lot of appointments coming out of this incoming rapist, racist, liar administration that really causes a lot of pause and concern for a lot of people, first of all, that move in the space of health, for people that move in the space of economics, for people that move in the space of the environment, and people that move in the space of reproductive health, and also LGBTQ rights. There's a lot going on. I want to pause for a second and share a little bit about what's going on in reference to the trans community. I know that outside of the LGBTQ community and within the LGBTQ community, it is a very interesting topic. It's a topic that comes up or within it brings in discrimination of race, brings in, in the LGBTQ community, white men still, in every place, even in marginalized communities of which they're a part, their white maleness still keeps them at the forefront of whatever priorities are in different spaces. And so I just wanted to encourage us to, it's real that it is a sticky topic. It was a topic that came up a lot during the election. It is a topic that those many pundits and commentators have said, because there was such a turnover with men in the working class, that was one of the issues. I get it. I will say that I would like us, away from our opinions, to consider in general what the LGBTQ community deals with, and also within that community, even more sub-marginalized community of men and women of trans experience. Think about just the mental health and the stress that they deal with in general, and even now. And so I just had that thought the other day, that no matter what your philosophy and thoughts are, and there's a lot, around, there's just a lot with this issue, but I would ask us to circle back and center to humanity. One of the other topics that has come up, as I mentioned before, is men. And it is a real issue beyond party, that I'll frame it like this. Malcolm X said that the most disrespected person in the world, may not have said world, but in society, is the Black woman. And with us being more aware of that, I don't think we did well at walking and chewing gum at the same time. And what I mean is, we need to protect, honor, build, support Black women. And at the same time, which our Black women have done, we need to also support Black men. And I get the notion and the experience of Black men in general not feeling seen. First and foremost, I'm a Black man before any of my intersectionalities. And so it is real when you consider the different philosophies with around the LGBTQ community, the trans community, and still large parts of our society that don't ascribe, understand, don't agree, even if they do, biblical reasons, Black, straight, pride reasons. So we can walk and chew gum at the same time. All of this, at the foundation of it, is equity in human rights. And I'm going to pause and say that any and everything that has to do with any civil and human rights in this country is built on the backs of Black people and our efforts and our fight. Going to go and check some of the comments to see if there are any thoughts, but it is really real that Black men and others must not just feel, but that feeling has to be based on real commitment to ensuring that all of the needs of all of us, we're doing our best to meet them, and Black women too. This is away from sexuality. This is away from socioeconomic differences. And I got on this particular subject from talking about, and I see Thaddeus is in the building. Congratulations to Uncle Thaddeus. I don't know if he's commented yet. Here we go. They hide in reasons. And Thaddeus, tell me a little bit more about what you mean there, but it's real. They're when you get a man to ask, oh, this is a very interesting subject. When you get a man to get to a point to ask for help, that's one thing. And then when there is this open window of wanting to hear what the issues are, and I know in the punditry and the commentary, there's different factions that say that she wasn't doing enough with the black man, the Democratic Party. When I say she, I'm referring to Kamala Harris. Then I seen some other commentary around that. First of all, let's establish this. After black women, black men came out and supported Kamala. So that narrative of that we didn't and all of that, well, there's some that didn't. We're not a monolith. Yes, there was some that didn't for various reasons, some of which is probably race and some of it of our own. And some of it is probably because she was a woman. Whatever. The majority of us voted for her. All of these different narratives around the black man, at the end of the day, we're the ones that are dealing with the subjects of the narratives around being engaged in our mental health and sexuality and our masculinity. Seth Moulton right now is coming under a lot of scrutiny because as a parent, he's bringing up the issue around when, to some extent, you expose your children to the LGBTQ community. And in an initial presentation, yes, as a part of the community, for about 0.2 seconds was I taken aback and like, because we're in a society now, and this is what he was talking about. You can't even, I'll take it to the Bible. The Bible says, come and let us reason together. Now, I know this subject in the Bible is very interesting, but we need to be able to at least converse. A father, a mother that wants to set the tone of how a child makes a decision, forms whether you believe, how alternative lifestyles demonstrate themselves in people. I believe a parent has a right to handle that process. And a parent can express that. And as I said before, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. A parent wanting to mold their children according to the cadence that they see does not necessarily mean that they are anti-LGBTQ. So I don't know how I got here and stayed here for this. Oh, Thaddeus, I just see, I'm trying to behave. I just got Thaddeus's comment. I mean, so what Thaddeus said here when he said that they're trying to hide, God, this isn't an after dark. Let me finish my point is that within the black community, we are going to need to work on more of what unifies us. As Thaddeus said years ago, we may not unite, but we can unify. And again, I got here based on some of the commentary of what's going on in DC. We got I'm thinking days and the models of the Black Panther. There's a new Black Panther party, like folks. Yeah. So here's that balance of keeping us aware and woke. And I'm saying woke purposely for us who are, two things changed after that election in the points of words matter. Awareness. Yeah, that's cool. I'm saying woke. And I no longer describe myself as a Black American. I'm Black in America. There's a huge difference by my philosophy and me saying that. So that is his point. Annette! Yo, good morning on purpose, Annette. Annette, how you doing? Good to see you in the room. So that is his point, and we're still saying congratulations to him, and this is one of the reasons why he's getting that award beyond the pictures and whatnot. That is an artistic person that creates and Black joy and all that other stuff. Get in the comments and get sidetracked. Thaddeus made a point that often Pastor Marion says, hello, everyone. Facebook be giving her trouble, so she's over on LinkedIn. Let me just go and check in on those who are over on Instagram. Shout out to everybody that is on there and on Twitter, if y'all are over on Twitter as well. Thaddeus just made a point that there has always been sort of a notion that if there is one group or individual that over aggressively pushes back against another group, that there may be some, I'll keep it specific. There's always been this thing of someone that is over aggressive and hyper about calling out someone that's part of the LGBT community. And a lot of this is particularly pointed toward men, that if you're overdoing it, you're trying to hide something. I said something. And in reference to what we're talking about, LGBT, pause. No pun intended. The Republican Party right now is dealing with, they have a woman of trans experience as a part of the Senate. I saw that. I said, listen, again, and let me also say something else while I'm on this subject for any trolls or after watchers or whatever. I'm not trying to push no agenda. Only agenda I'm trying to push is equity and understanding. Period. But getting back, Belinda, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Thaddeus's point was around they trying to hide stuff. And in reference to this Republican Party and them anti-LGBTQ and same-sex marriage, Grindr, which is an app, dating, quote unquote, hookup app. During the Republican convention, there was so much activity at the convention on Grindr that the server shut down. So I'm confused. And let's just go ahead and talk about Gaetz, Oz, Kennedy. Let's stop at Gaetz for a minute. Whenever have we seen a fight for someone to lead, especially as the head cop and law enforcement officer in this country, a fight for someone who allegedly had sex with a minor, did illicit drugs, and was showing pictures on the House floor? So I'm not going to get too deep into that, but we need to pay attention. Mr. Futrell, I'm going to look at your comments. I get the comments about in supporting Black fathers. Cool. Gotcha. We need to stick together. And I'll also say that there needs to be a way to figure out when we don't agree in political philosophy to do that too. But I also cannot adjoin myself and be adjacent to people that supports a racist, a rapist, and a liar. And there's some commentary. There's a lot of commentary about our families and our community, you know, and the anti-Trump and the anti-Trump supporters and the energy that folks are bringing. I get that. That's the only commentary I have on that part. Rob, happy belated birthday to Rob. His birthday was this week. Their hate for people of color and women is stronger than their Rob, you done said some stuff up in here, but this one right here, their hate for people of color and women is stronger than their common sense. Miss Teresa said, so many of them, in reference to what Thaddeus said, so many of them are closeted and criminal in their sexuality. So this is simple to distract from their behavior. Ooh, there's a lot there. Annette, we got a group walking around in black and red masks trying to start race war. I'm good. Yeah. The other thing I need to say based on Annette's comment about groups walking around is we do need to prepare ourselves first and foremost by increasing our Black joy and being very intentional about it as a buffer. There's going to be more coverage, and you're going to see on social media Proud Boy types and those little masked cowards that march through and scream white power and all this other stuff. Oh, we're going to see more of it. The emboldenedness of the white man is on fleek. But again, our buffer is Black joy. Our buffer is understanding that we as a people have been through this and much more. Not as much in regulated policy, but if you think about it, a lot of the systems and structures are designed against us. But yet we have achieved. We are in C-suites. We're getting doctorate degrees, 2 and 3. We are building families and gaining wealth and becoming property owners, despite being Black in America. Man, look, when they are down with you, they down with until they are not. We need some. That is that. I think it was in a conversation. You said something like that, and I had to figure out what you meant. They're with you until they're not. They like you until they don't. And I was like, huh? And he broke it down. And well, me and these comments, this is when I get off and sidetracked. He is absolutely right. I'm going to say something I haven't said in a long time. And I remember on election night, oh, Jesus, I ain't prayed like that in a long time. We need to pray, y'all. And as Ayanna says often in an old African proverb, when we pray, move our feet. Stay woke, because there is an intentionality to legislate racism, misogyny, elimination of a woman's right to her body, and basic education. You got a former wrestling exec that, first of all, you said you wanted to get rid of the Department of Education. I guess you realize that Congress ain't going to let that happen. You got a former wrestling exec. So what you going to do? Your deputy head of education is going to be Hulk Hogan? Whew. All right. I got to wrap up, y'all. Good morning, Nicole. Nicole, I'm over on Blue Sky at Java with Jimmy. I wanted to mention that to everybody else. We are in the next few months probably going to move away from X, Elon Musk X. The cadence over there, the lies, the white supremacy, the algorithms is just, and it takes, I've been well, because some of those things I want to hit reply and engage, but I try not to. Every once in a while I do, but I try not to. Uncle, there are 3 forms of woke, and this new administration is woke and defined. That's the thing. They're coming in with experience. That first administration, 1, didn't really think he was going to win, so he wasn't ready. 2, he got a whole cycle, and they've been planning this for 4 years. Even more so, the heritage, man, listen. That's why we got to stay woke. To one of the references that Thaddeus is referring, woke and being aware of the intentionality of ways through legislation and policy and media and social media that our demise is in an intentional, expedited effort. To my mom's point, Nicole, thanks for following me. I'll follow you back. What did my mother say? Prayer changes things. We're going to have to pray and move our feet. So everyone that moves in spaces that protects all the people that work in the space of migrants and supporting them, education, reproductive health, LGBTQ rights, for Black women, for small businesses, for Black men, salute to all of you. Strength and joy your way. And I've said that a few times about the intentionality of our Black joy. We got to be hella intentional. Speaking of that, there's a play that's coming up soon. I'll share some more information with you. But they're looking at taking, it's a Christmas focused play, and they're taking excerpts from Amen, A Different World, The Jeffersons. There's 5. The Jeffersons, I think the Cosby, and I forgot what the other one was. And they're going to do the Christmas excerpts. And so I'll share more information about that. They'll be with us. I'll share more information next week. as they get us the information, as they start to advertise, and they'll be with us soon. But when y'all hear about that play, plan to go check it out, because we need to find all type of ways to increase our Black joy. I'm going to get ready to wrap up, everyone, to get ready to get out of here for a meeting. Pastor Carl Jefferson from Rhode Island is in the building and says, this is what happened 100 years ago when there was a pandemic and the first Reconstruction took place, and white supremacy and Christian nationalism came back strong and terrorized our communities and destroyed Black Wall Street. We need to be very aware, and we don't allow history to repeat itself. We must be determined and have a third Reconstruction. It's not good to be woke. We now got to be out the. I hear your point. Not just woke, but get up out the bed. Wake up, pray, and move your feet. That's the theme for today. My goodness. Uncle Thaddeus is on Blue Sky as well. Black Joy Warrior. I thought he was going to say Black Joy Behavior. Black Joy Warrior. Thaddeus is on Blue Sky. Nicole, what's your Blue Sky? So we can tell folks to follow you too. Annette said, get up and do something. Miss Teresa, I am doing better. I ate early yesterday. Let me tell y'all, I've been cooking. What's in the fridge? I cooked Sunday. I got to finish it today. 3 days, Wednesday. I did raspberry flavored baby backs and yellow rice, Thai flavored string beans with some sesame, a little bit of fish oil, and the oh God, what are the things that make it? Sesame oil, a little bit of fish oil, and a little bit of ginger. And also there's this new trend about making an avocado pizza. So Miss Teresa, I've been eating and doing better at hydrating. Thank you for always checking on me. Gigi, Cole, where you get Gigi from? Gigi84. Thaddeus, that's Nicole on Blue Sky. Anybody else that's going over to Blue Sky, let's link up over there. At some point next year, there will be an exclusive subscription, small supported space that I control for the Java family. If you all remember earlier this year, I believe it was Facebook shut down, Twitter shut down, social media was acting crazy, hacks and stuff. And I'm going to end with this too. Social media was acting crazy and I got real scared. I'm like, oh, because we communicate over social media. And so and I'm doing that for two reasons. And to be very honest, this platform and the expansion and enhancement of what I've been doing in community for years started in COVID. And if you all remember, there was partnerships with DPH, MGH, Boston Public Health Commission, the Boston Foundation, a whole lot of partners in the public health space. But as COVID is moving into an endemic, a lot of that support isn't there anymore. And so going into that space, one, I control it. It doesn't get shut down. But two, in adding a small subscription to that, it allows folks to support the platform. And so, other folks do it and their mission and their goals are very different from ours. And I look at some of them subscription numbers and I'm like, oh, so just keeping y'all aware that is coming. And Miss Teresa, I saw that you mentioned also, Anthony is in the building. AJ System is on Blue Sky as well. The -AJ System. Nicole is on there. Thaddeus is on there. I'm on there. At some point, I know Mama Java is going to be talking about, oh, here's my Blue Sky. She'll be on there. And we know the twins' birthday, the Double E's birthday is coming up, Miss Teresa mentioned. So I mentioned about the social media thing and the hack that happened earlier this year, and it made me think about what's going on in the food distribution thing. I noticed last week, Denise, good to see you in the room. I noticed last week, Dina said that, just heard back, they are all set. It was Dina, you shouldn't have told me that while I was live. Where am I? Let me pull myself back real quick. Blue Sky, Stop and Shop. Naraki, thank you. I was just going to go there. Speaking of cyber attacks, I noticed about a week ago, the produce and some of the other shelves, not the non-perishable areas, some of the perishables, fruits, some dairy, shelves were bare. 2 heads of cabbage, 3 cucumbers, 8. There was one place that there was a tomato, had a little bruise on it, and I was like, I'll just cut it off. I went Sunday, Monday to Stop and Shop. And I just asked, I noticed it again. I asked the manager, I said, hey, is this, an indicator of what happened with the election? And I don't know what's up. And he said, no, basically the parent company that oversees Stop and Shop, Kroger's, he started naming some other brands. Their distribution systems got hacked, a couple of them. And what they did, that was an impact. And then the other thing he said happened was, and the news has reported this as well, they took the other systems that weren't hacked offline, off the internet, so they don't get hacked. But the 2 that got hacked, or a couple that got hacked, and the ones that are offline, they're not sending 50 organic cucumbers to Roxbury and I don't know, 18 bags of oranges to Grove Hall. It's not happening. And so while we need to be aware, I also wanted to mention that the manager said that they hope by the middle of this week, because what I said to him was, I said, yo, this going on right before Thanksgiving is very interesting. And as I was talking to him, he said that they would hopefully get it caught up the middle of this week, hopefully the next couple of days. And as I continued talking to him, I said, listen, let me ask you something. Presumably, there may be an overstock. As everything catches up, there may be an overstock. Would that possibly cause a different type of sales to get stuff off the shelves? He was like, maybe. And so the some of the silver lining here is that right before Thanksgiving, if they get this thing caught up and they get overstocked, we might see some sales. So I just wanted to kind of mention that, because when you see the pictures and stuff on social media, it looks very interesting. And with all that we're observing, I want to try to do my best to keep us aware and level set so we're not overstressed. Our anxiety isn't up and our depression isn't up. This is a very interesting time of year for many of us. And so we got to be intentional about buffering a lot of the things that come with seasonal effectiveness disorder, the holidays. Parents, don't y'all try to keep up with the Joneses and put yourself in debt. Put some of that money up for them for college and pray we have college. Jesus Lord. Anyway, last comment. Oh, just wait until these tariffs take place. Lots of companies are already preparing by placing large orders and major layoffs. That front loading is real. Last thing, shout out to the Biden administration and the Senate, because they are putting judges through, appellate judges, district judges, anything and everything that they can get done between now and before the session leaves. So shout out to them for doing that. All right, folks, I'm going to get off of here. Need to go meet with the team and sit down with them. And we will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in observation of Native American Heritage Month. We are bringing into the Java Cafe the Chappaquiddick tribe of the Wampanoag Nation, Indian Nation. They will be with us tomorrow at 10 a.m. So please plan to join us. You may see a familiar face there with the leadership of them joining us next week. On Tuesday, I'm waiting to get a confirmation, but we might have a very high-ranking state official with us. On Wednesday, we'll have a high-ranking city official. Mayor Wu will join with us. It is Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday. The mayor is Wednesday, 27th. The mayor is Wednesday. Might have the governor on Tuesday. And I have it asking to a senator for Monday. So next week might be Civic Thanks Week, Thanksgiving week for civics. We need to be thankful because here in Massachusetts, we got some buffers that will prayerfully help with some of these things going on in DC. And the other thing is, and I'm just putting it out there now, our state and our city is a sanctuary city, and Maura Healey. The good thing about our governor is she was the AG during the first Trump administration. So her as the governor and a lawyer, she's well prepped for the fight. Her and Andrea have a very good relationship, and Andrea is a wonderful lawyer in her own right. So we're pretty good, okay. But the thought was that one of the ways that the Trump administration can fight back against what we will fight against them is they can put certain mandates and restrictions on federal subsidies. And that could have an economic impact. And so you all used to hear about things like the rainy day fund, why the governor would only take a certain amount. And, you know, all this talk about the mayor and revenue and taxes and the credit rating. When you're in those seats, you have to have a peer review that goes beyond your years and goes beyond the next fiscal year. So shout out to women who are leading: Governor Maura Healey, Mayor Michelle Wu, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Senator Liz Miranda. And shout out to men that are leading as well: Michael Curry, Rahsaan Hall, Thaddeus Miles, Anthony Davis, Michael Black, Derek Johnson, I believe, out of the NAACP. Brother Tutwiler from the state in education. Brother Amari Parrish Jeffries. Shout out to Black men that are leading and Black women and all women that are leading. And we're getting off of here. That's the end of my commentary. As long as I don't look at the comments. Pastor Marion said, be ready for a fight. Nicole said, I just got my apartment through housing. I'm scared to lose it along with my food stamps. And that is very, very real. Wait a minute. I'm not going to repeat what I thought. UCB members, y'all get an hour this morning. Thaddeus, I would say that a suggested gift for a cuffing partner. You can get them a few things. It depends. Each. Remy is in the building. Want to let you all know the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I'm going to go over to Urban Heat and join Remy for R&B and Chill on Wednesday evening. And then Remy is going to join us virtually. Thanksgiving morning, we are having a show at 10 a.m. It's going to be a comedy show. If you all remember last year, Brother Keith and Jermaine came in with us. I'm waiting for them to confirm if they're going to do it. But I wanted to bring Remy in as well. And so Wednesday night, the 27th, we will be with R&B and Chill. We're going to talk about love and the holidays and cuffing and some other things. And then in the morning, she's going to be with us while she's cooking. And Remy, please say hi to Mama Java. All right, folks, we're going to get ready. I told y'all, Mom, Ma, did you create your account literally while we were sitting here on the show? Here go Aaron. Thaddeus, don't ask Aaron and Teresa anything about gifts and stuff and things to do. A couple spa treatment. Or order one of those massages I see on Instagram sometimes where they be real oiled up. And yeah. All right. Thanks for joining the Java Cafe today, everybody. And we will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. And have a great day. And we will talk to you soon, because I feel this is about to really turn into an after dark. And then Aaron's going to be looking at me talking about, why was you late? I'll see you guys later.